Welcome, TV3 viewers, to our report on sports. Sam Harvey, Fran Schilmel with you, and Sam, welcome to today's program.
Thank you, Fran. Glad to be back, and our second show of the season, and I enjoyed getting together last week, and we're looking forward to a lot of sports and talking about a lot of sports here in the fall and winter seasons.
School underway, and as you say, so is sports. One of the earliest things beginning is girls golf, and they went to Richmond, didn't do too well.
Yeah, finished seventh, I think.
In an invitational, it was seventh.
But probably some pretty good competition. When you talk Richmond, Richmond girls golf over the years, they've been pretty tough. So.
And their first meet will be here at home coming up tomorrow, Batesville. That's an important one because, as you point out, it's a conference.
Sure is. Eastern Indiana Athletic Conference. We're very fortunate to be back in a conference after a hiatus of several years. Of course, we've been in the IAC a couple of years now, but really gives the kids in all sports, Fran, something to shoot for, a conference championship. I mean,
sure.
You do that, you can't take that away from any of them. And both the boys and girls were pretty successful last year in conference competition. So we'll see what the girls can do here in girls golf coming up. Nowhere to go but up, I would say, since they did finish seventh in that Richmond Invitational.
There's some tough schools in our conference, aren't there?
Oh, there are. You know, when you look at Greensburg and Batesville, and of course a couple of neighborhood rivals, longtime rivals, Rushville and Franklin County. That you know, Rushville goes back. That rivalry goes back to the South Central Conference days.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, but that was a great conference.
Oh, it was.
But a lot of traveling. Jeffersonville was in that. Some long trips. Schools now are in a conference, but they want it to be more compact. I think because of the traveling expenses, don't you?
Oh, yes, and I think the other reason is that there are so many more sports. Back the old South Central Conference days when, like you say, we go to Jeffersonville and Bloomington and Martinsville, just the boys participated.
Yes.
But now with girls' sports, that the conferences have become more compact, and look for that to continue. Some of that's continuing. I know just to our north in the North Central Conference last year, Newcastle dropped out, and they're in the Hoosier Heritage Conference now because Rushville came over and joined us in the IAC. But left a spot for them. But it certainly did cut down on their travel. And and when you think about as far as we have to go for a conference game is down to South Dearborn and into the Lawrenceburg area. So the others are relatively close, half hour to 45 minutes away, which really isn't too bad.
That's right. Soccer also is beginning August the 15th. That's coming up. That's Saturday, I believe. And they'll have a scrimmage at Knightstown, and the first home game will be a week from Saturday on August the 22nd. That will be Lawrenceburg coming here. So that's a boys' soccer. And the girls' soccer, they open at Newcastle on August 18th. So that's right around the corner.
It is, and we're jumping right in here with both feet, so to speak, with soccer. And soccer, a sport that I'm not too familiar with, but probably will become more familiar with as time goes on. I did attend my first soccer game. I have a preschool granddaughter that I did go see them play, and watching the little ones, their enthusiasm is a lot of fun, but you know, that's a sport that's really growing and really taking off here in the Midwest and here in Connersville.
It really is, and it's becoming more popular each year. And Indianapolis has a good soccer team.
Right.
And I'm anxious too for, as our program last week, Brent was here, Brent Duncan, the athletic director, talked about a new soccer field at CHS. So that should even increase the interest.
It should, and he said new concession stand and like a press box out there too that would take care of both soccer field and the softball diamond. So a lot of improvements we're going to see.
And of course, football's not too far away, August the 21st, Friday, and it'll be at Richmond.
It will, and Dave Pollard and I will be there with all the action. on WLPK, KMX 106.9. And, if you can't make the trip, join Dave and me for that. We'd love to see you, though, up at Live Oak Field, which has that artificial turf. 2 years ago, we played, I think, the first game on that artificial turf, and it's a beautiful facility.
Okay. Well, I know you're anxiously looking forward to that. Speaking of football, we have some film of our kids that are really working hard. Coach Adam Kelly has them out there practicing all the time, and we've got some film, and we'd like to share it right now with our viewers.
On the field, I expect them to play with all heart and to listen and be coachable in practice and not be defiant when, hey, you need to take this step and it's going to help you. Oh, I know what I'm doing, coach. And you get that sometimes from some players, but these guys have been very receptive. Since I've been here, this has probably been the most coachable group of players that we've had, especially the younger ones. They're listening, they're absorbing what we're telling them. I think they believe in the message that we're teaching them or trying to teach them. And then off the field, we expect them to conduct themselves as good citizens. And I think we're getting to that point as well, and they're kids, and there's going to be hiccups, and if they correct those hiccups, that tells me whether or not we're getting through to them, and I think we are. Preparation for this season started as we finished up our sectional loss against Shelbyville last year. It took us about a week to take inventory of equipment and those types of things, and then we opened the weight room up that next week, so we had off-season conditioning that started in November, and those kids worked through different sections of the winter, spring, and then into the summer conditioning program, which started at the 1st of June. Throughout the summer, we have on-the-field practice once a week, Tuesday evenings for 2 to 2.5 hours. And then we also traveled throughout the summer and scrimmaged a lot of different programs. I expect them to compete in every contest. Don't give up, regardless of the score, whether we're up or we're down. One of the issues that I saw as a player here, and then I've seen as a coach here, is one thing goes wrong, and then they kind of let it snowball. The head goes down, and that's, we really are pushing that, and we've been pushing it, and so we're hoping that really starts to change or turn the corner. We trying to get them to stay even-keeled, whether they make a great play or make a bad play. They still have a ball game that they have to continue to play. So we're hoping that we're getting that across, and we'll again, that's one of those we'll find out when we kick off on the 21st against Richmond.
I think the best way to be a leader for this team is to lead by example, and just like I said, to work as hard as I can in the drills and any practices that we do. Just keep working hard and show that the guys need to work. So.
This season is no fear. We can't be afraid to fail. We can't be afraid to have success. We can't be afraid to put it all on the line. We can't be concerned with what other people are saying about what we're doing, whether it be fans or parents or other teams or any of those things. We have to focus daily on making ourselves better, especially with such a young group of kids. And I think we've done that. Last year, we looked big picture. We thought, hey, we've got a really good shot here to make some noise in the conference, which we did, and make some noise in the playoffs, which we did not. And this year we've dialed that back down to a day-by-day type thing. We're really not even talking about Richmond yet, and they're 2.5 weeks away. So we're hoping with just a daily approach, we'll be able to maintain that. I think I'll see nervous young men take the field for the first time against a team that's probably going to be larger and more athletic. But these guys have a lot of grit, and they're practicing hard, and we're not going to win a lot of games because we're more athletic than other teams. We're not going to win games because we're bigger and stronger than other teams. We're going to win games if we game plan it the right way that brings out the most of the talent that we do have, and we play tough, and we put it on the line, and when we're hurting a little bit, we're able to reach down and play the next play as hard as we can.
As a team, I hope to accomplish that we win games. We have a winning season, and we're not the losing team that Connersville's seen before. For my senior season, it's my last season as a Spartan. I'm really sad to see it, but excited to have it play out. I've only got 9 regular season games, and I'm going to make the most of every game that we have. So,
come out and support the program. These kids work hard. This coaching staff works extremely hard. There's nothing better than Friday night under the lights. It's a good atmosphere. There's not a whole lot else to do in the area, and I think we're putting a product that the community can be proud of out on the field.
Let's go! Sam, we saw Andy Stam on there. He's one of 9 juniors from last year's team. So this is going to be a young team and inexperienced team because we lost so many seniors.
Yes, we did. Lost quarterback.
Yes.
Tyler Kendall. And
yeah.
Of course, Colton Gonzalez was just all everything, and you can certainly count on him. But opportunity for these kids to come out and prove something. I think that the foundation is there, and I think Coach Kelly has laid the foundation.
He inspires these kids, I think.
Mm-hmm. And he being a former Spartan himself.
Absolutely, I was going to bring that up.
He understands the program and the tradition and, if you will, lack thereof. But they're building on that, and I really like the way Coach Kelly approaches the game.
Yes.
and approaches his kids. And I liked what he said there, that they're not looking ahead to anything. They're not even looking ahead to Richmond right now. They got to take care of their own business.
Andy played tight end and linebacker last year. He's 6'2", a little over 200 pounds. So I think, as he admitted, the kids are going to be looking up to him.
Mm-hmm. They are, and that's a nice size for a player,
yes.
and hopefully there's some more to go along with him. And I can't wait to get out there to well, we'll be at Richmond first, but then out to Spartan Field. To me, Spartan Field is such a great atmosphere, and,
yes.
and we talked about that a little bit before, that we always have a great crowd there, and it is what there is to do on Friday night in the fall in Connersville.
And Franklin County will be our first opponent on the 28th, and I'm sure Franklin County will bring some Brookville folks up here.
Oh, they will. And you talk about a program tradition rich,
yes.
Going clear back to Brookville, and now with Franklin County, they've had a lot of success. They're last year struggled a little bit, but look for them to be back on top of their game here, because the people down in Brookville and Franklin County certainly expect that.
I know it. They'll be a tough opponent, I know, come the 28th.
And we play for the water keg.
Okay.
As I understand, it's a traveling trophy, and I know the kids would like to have that here in Spartan country.
Well, I know where all the folks are anxiously waiting for football to begin, and that kind of reminds me of, I know you're familiar with this, I show it to the fans. This is a brochure that people receive when they come to the Spartan basketball and football games. This happens to be last year's winter edition with all the winter sports in it, but it has all the pictures in it, and we kind of urge people to become a Spartan sports booster if you'd like, and you get your name put in this magazine, and I say it's available at all the games, football, basketball games, and for as little as $15, why you can have an individual membership. If you are interested in helping to support the athletic programs at CHS, just join the Spartan Athletic Booster Club, and you can call the office out there and make arrangements to have that done. Unfortunately, I don't have their phone number right now. Do you have it?
Hey, it's 825-2900.
All right, there you go. Sam knows everything that that you need to know. So why not call the Spartan Athletic Office and become a Spartan Athletic Booster, because this is a great little magazine. It has all the pictures in it.
It certainly is, and traveling around the state, both football and boys and girls basketball, that's a very nice program. We see other programs as we travel
yes.
around, but Brent and the staff out there really do a nice job of putting that together, and has a lot of valuable information in it. It has all the team schedules and as well as team pictures in it, and a lot of advertisers that are also Spartan boosters, and
yes.
and we would encourage you to read that when you go to football or basketball games or other sporting events, and frequent those sponsors.
Yeah, I hope they will, because it has a lot of information in it. They talk about the kids that are great students also, and of course you have to be a great student to play in athletes, so or into athletics. So it has the information in there. They also have the pictures of the teams, as we mentioned, and they single out the seniors and have a special section for the seniors, and it's they're very nice. And as you say, you go to other schools and they all have them, but I think ours is one of the finest.
It is. It certainly is. The other thing they have on sale at the athletic office right now are the Spartan sports calendars that I rely on throughout the season, and it has all the sports on it, both high school and middle school. So it tells you when and where the teams are playing, and you can get those at the athletic office or from quarterback club members. So.
Okay, that's a good. Are they very expensive?
Well, I don't know what the price is this year. I need to go get mine. They've been $5 a piece in the past, which is very inexpensive.
Very reasonable, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that price has gone up, but if it has, it's still well worth the money.
Yeah. We might touch a little bit on the Connersville Parks and Recreation Department is now having signups for their soccer leagues. I'm not sure if your little granddaughter is going to be in that or not, but it's between the ages of 3 and 12, so she certainly would be eligible, wouldn't she?
Yeah, she's 4 years old, so she would be eligible for that. And I live out there near the soccer field, down on the bypass.
Yes.
And that place is always rocking. Lots of cars, people parked out along the road. I mean, you just the parents and the kids seem to really enjoy that, and it's a good healthy activity for our youth, and to keep them involved in athletics and start them at a young age.
It's a nice field too.
Oh yes,
very nice facility. And by the way, the park's 825-5244. If you would like to call, games will be beginning not for a while yet. On September 12th will be the first ones, but you can find out all the info by calling the park department again at 825-5244. And we might mention also that they're beginning a cornhole league. I'm not sure if that's sports or not, but I guess in a way it is.
It is.
Kind of like horseshoes, only with corn.
It's a fun game to play. It's I play it occasionally.
Sure.
People have summertime parties, and it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they like to have a league, and if you'd like more information on that, it's 825-7411 is the number to call if you are interested in joining the cornhole thing. What else you'd like to talk about tonight, Sam?
Well, it's just I'm just excited about the fall sports season coming up here, and I would certainly encourage all of our viewers to participate in going and watching these kids play, whether it be football or soccer or whatever the sport may be.
Sure.
There's certainly plenty of opportunity to do so, and I know the kids appreciate it, and it's nice to have that. Like in basketball, we say it's that sixth man. It's that home crowd, and in football and the other sports, it's the same thing. Volleyball will be coming up here, and we've had great success over the years. Coach Pfeiffer does a great job of coaching those girls, and that's certainly worth taking in and going to see also. So, and we hope to be able to talk to some more of those coaches throughout the season here.
And volleyball is played in the gym at the high school. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so plenty of seating out there, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
The middle school, they're getting underway. They're swimming and cross country. In fact, I think something is beginning tomorrow. In fact, it will be the cross country. We'll be getting together around 5:15. The swimming team will be getting around 6 o'clock. So things are underway at the middle school.
Yeah, and that's what feeds into the high school, and of course they only so many varsity positions, but kids throughout from the grades, and then they really start getting into athletics when they hit 7th grade.
Yes.
And great facilities that we have up there for the kids at the middle school, and of course they share with a lot of the high school facilities also. But I know school's all about academics, and but I think athletics and even things like the band help keep kids involved and keep them on the right track, and gives them something to work for and something to play for.
Yeah, I think parents urge their youngsters to participate in sports, but again, I've talked to coaches and they said we don't want the parents forcing the kids into sports. They want to want to do it.
Exactly, but so many of the sports now have almost become year-round. We heard Coach Kelly talk about that a little bit, that they started right back into the weight room and all that, those that weren't participating in winter sports right after the end of last season. But and to be good at athletics and for the teams to be good, they have to be able to work out and do the things they need to do. They say, that like basketball players are made in the summertime, not in the fall, not in the winter.
Well, and coaches too, they want their athletes to compete in other sports to keep in shape.
Sure.
For one reason, so it's important to see that these young people take part in more than one sports, and I'm not sure how they do it, keeping up grades and everything.
I don't know either.
I mean, the time to put into practice and everything. So I really admire these kids that are in sports and then you see their name on the honor roll and everything. So
yeah, and that's really makes me feel good when you can read those, and I always read those honor rolls.
Yes, I do too.
Say, I know her from this sport or that sport, and it's a good thing that because so many, and you've seen this pictures in the newspaper of many of our student athletes signing to go to college. Well,
yes,
they can be a terrific athlete, but these colleges are also looking for good students to go along with that.
Absolutely.
Because they have to maintain their standards as well.
Yeah, I think it's that shows just how good our school system is. And as you say, when you see these youngsters that are being signed by colleges to play for them.
And we've got to see several of those here in the last month or so.
Yes, right.
And
right.
always like to see those kids move on.
I think the cement is cured at Spartan Bowl,
Well,
and I haven't received any update, but I assume that they're about to start laying the boards.
I would hope so.
Yes.
Somebody had posted on the internet that it was watching cement dry is like watching paint dry.
That's right.
And so people are anxious, and I know that Brent Duncan and the staff, everybody is very anxious to get that floor down and get it cured so that they can start using that. And I'm sure that the middle school, they use that during the day also for
phys ed. Yes, I think so.
They have the Spartan Arena, but it's nice to have both venues to be able to, and I'm sure they'll be glad to get that back in operation also.
Yeah, I would think that would be a long job laying down these boards that are like 2 or 2.5 inches wide.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
But it should be great when we get it done, and hopefully Brent's been able to come up with someone that can install the old circle that he wants to near the entrance to Spartan Bowl for people to see. I'm anxious to see that floor when it's finished.
Yeah, I am too. And you still buy pieces of that floor, and they're going to have them for sale at the first football game against Franklin County. So if you haven't got your piece of the floor yet, then now's the time to do it before they run out. Because you can make a lot of things out of that, depending on how much you want.
Sure. Well, the 4x4 pieces are good tabletops, and I know there are some people that are doing that with them. So as you say, there are a lot of things that you can make out of it, and just to have a piece, I think would mean a lot, because 1958, 59, the first basketball season, and when you think of all the games that have been played in that bowl. I mean,
and I've gone there. My dad started taking me in 1958 as a 6-year-old,
yeah.
and been going back to Spartan Bowl ever since. And I've told the story before about being able to go over and look in the big hole and remember the big hole before they had poured the concrete. And a lot of that work had been done by local contractors.
Yes.
My friend Butch Bunzendahl, his dad Fred, was in the construction business, and they did a lot of the excavating in that. And Butch has a lot of pictures of that, which is really neat to see, and some of them hanging there on the south wall of the bowl that from that time.
Yes, there were several houses that had to remove between the high school, that was a high school then, and 20th Street. So there were several houses that had to be purchased and removed, and then, as you say, the hole dug and the gym put up. But that's really an engineering feat. I mean, it's hard to believe that you can put up a roof like that without any supporting pillars any place.
It is, and that design was so good. And I have a copy of the plans. I worked for an architectural firm for a while, and the school came in and asked for another copy, so I made me a copy of it. And the design's so good it was patented. It had a patent number on the bottom of it.
Yes. I think there are only 3 of those gyms in Indiana. We have one, Newcastle has one, and the University of Indianapolis has one.
They have one, and there are a few others.
Are there?
Edinburgh and Springs Valley, where Larry Bird played. Now, they're not very deep, only like 6 or 8 rows deep. But.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that there were others
yes, there are.
comparable to that. But it's a great gym, and I know the Continental fans appreciate having it here. And the fellows that put that thing together back in the 50s need to be commended.
Oh, they do.
For all the work they did.
We've called it Spartan Bowl for years, but I've given it another name, the Grand Palace on Grand, because it truly is.
It's a great place to play basketball and to watch a ball game. Well, that about wraps up this report on sports. I think hopefully the folks have enjoyed us trying to bring them up to date on what's going on at CHS and at the middle school. And we'll be back next week with another report on sports. Thanks.
Thank you, Fran.